Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, as you'll see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we're relaxing as per usual. Excuse me. Yeah, what are we going to talk about? I don't really know, to be honest. It's Saturday, we're sort of chilling, we're vibing, we're having a good time. I've been trying to do some Uma Musume runs, trying to get a good Manhattan cafe. It's not going great. It's so hard. It's so hard to get long S on her. I had such a good run and she didn't get long S, nor straightaway spurt, but it's actually still pretty good anyway. So hello everyone, right now in Fawnhallow. It's 5:58 PM on Saturday, January 10th 2026. It's actually too good. She actually runs too far ahead, but she doesn't, in the practice lobbies I've been doing it, she doesn't proc pumps of iron and moving forward and beyond until later, which is, you know, a nice problem to have, I suppose. But that's fine. I got ages because I'm like, I can reuse my other gold chip should I need to, because I've been using my gold chip and we have a practice runs and she's still somehow winning despite the fact that she was not made for this champions meet. Anyway, what am I talking about? Let's talk about something more interesting now. Not really sure. I guess it's, I mean, not I guess. Obviously it's a fishing tourney at the moment, but we're not going to really pay attention in any nonsense like that. I say nonsense. It's not, of course. And I don't mean the Sabrina Carpenter song. I'm just trying to think of something to talk about, what I do actually want to talk about, you know. I feel like it's been pretty rainy here in the UK recently, which is, you know, not too surprising after all. We do have a reputation for rain. I don't think we get the most rainfall in the world, not even slightly, but probably in the upper, I'm going to guess upper 30% of countries. I feel like it's hard to sort of balance out because there's literal countries who have a monsoon season, like who have a whole season, or like the rainy season. And like, I mean, we do have a lot of rain. I'm not sure if we'd say the rainy season. I feel like we're just very vocal about it for no apparent reason. I don't know, let's see. Countries sorted by annual rainfall. List of countries by average annual precipitation. Whoa, Colombia's first. Where is UK on this? Okay, so how many countries on this list? 176. United Kingdom, 73. We're not even in the top 50%. That's crazy. Really? Well, there's more. Wait, how many countries are there in the world? I thought it was like almost 300. Only 195. Never mind. I don't know how many countries there are in the world. I had no idea. 2017. Why do we complain about rain so much in the UK then? Like, again, I knew we were vocal about it and I knew we weren't definitely out of it. I thought we'd at least be in the top 50%. That's crazy. No, wait, well, we are in the top 50%. I can't do maths. Okay, sorry. I thought about it a bit more. Half of 176 is 88, isn't it? So, we're not much in the top 50%, mind you. I did assume it was the more tropical countries that got more rainfall. I didn't. Well, okay, how much is the difference really? I don't know, 1,220? I don't know, we get less than South Korea. And that's crazy to me. Like, I'm not going to argue with facts. I'm not going to be like, that's wrong, I suppose. More like, why does UK have such a rain stereotype when it doesn't get a lot of rainfall comparatively or something? What is a biggest British weather stereotype that is simply false? The annual number of rainy days in the UK has fluctuated 171.5 rainy days. So UK has rain about half a days. Oh. Oh, that makes it a rain day, true. No, we actually don't. I was going to say, yeah, like, you guys got pretty good weather, all things considered. Our weather may be depressing, but at least it's rarely actively dangerous. Very true. Rain is not a problem. The problem is the sun behind clouds almost all the time. You get some sun. Okay, so is this why... Because I don't really stop to think much about it. Like, it was always internalized to me, of course, like UK known for rain and being very gloomy, that sort of thing. And when I get older, being like, that can't literally be true when there are literal countries out there with monsoons. Like, we probably get the rain we get The rain we get in a year, they probably get in like in a week or something. Okay, and don't check the statistics on that. I don't know if that's true. But it's like, why do we have such a gloomy reputation about it? Because I don't really hate the British weather all that much. Hot take, I know. One, I don't really mind the rain. And like, the worst thing, I do agree, if being out in the rain without being prepared for the rain sucks. You know, not having a raincoat, not having an umbrella, or if like you wanted to do something which rain like ruins, like I don't know, like a beach trip or something. That sucks, and I'm not going to pretend that doesn't suck. But rain on a whole, I don't actually mind all that much, you know? And that includes even when I need to go out in the rain to like walk somewhere, you know, I'll take an umbrella or something. As long as I think the biggest thing is definitely more like things that, you know, if it's like giant puddles on the road, or if the sewers aren't draining properly or something, and then like cars come along and sort of splash. Like it's happened before, a couple of times, because I've been walking by a puddle, and normally, you know, sensible car drivers, when they see a puddle and they see a pedestrian next to it, they'll slow down so they're not going to absolutely splash the pedestrian. But there has been like at least a couple times in my life where I've just been walking, and then a car just sort of zooms by and it just completely soaks me with a puddle, and I'm just like, gross, come on. Like I don't have an other way I can walk, you know. One of them was a bus driver, I guess. So at least part of me is like, okay, well, maybe you're trying to keep to a schedule. I don't know, but like crazy talk. The other one was literally, I was just walking like on a road, like to a station when I was much younger, and I was like, why? No, it was walking to school, and I was like, why would you do this? No, I think I was walking away from school actually, so it was at least going home. I was like, come on, like, are you in that much of a rush? I suppose you couldn't like slow down, lose 10 seconds of time to not splash me. What do you want me to do? You want me to wait by the puddle and wait until there's a clear gap to go, I guess? I mean, that sounds also equally insane. So, you know, I'm not out here like blaming the driver. Maybe I don't know. Who knows? If they didn't notice, they didn't expect that to happen. Things happen. It was just like, it was more like, it was a situation that sucks. To be honest. Yeah. I don't know. Why does Britain have such a... Why Britain bad weather reputation, when honestly it doesn't seem that bad. We have a temperate climate. The grey and the darkness gets people down. When people say UK is bad weather, it's not usually being too cold to hot. About 4 months a year to get days on end when you feel like you never see the sun and there's unrelenting grey gloom. Okay, that's fair enough. It's also very unpredictable. I guess that's also true. I would imagine weather's quite unpredictable everywhere, though, right? I don't really know. It's hours of sunshine. Annual hours of sunlight is probably one of the lowest in Europe. Oh, really? Okay. I didn't know that. Why is this not... It's organised by what? Alphabetical order in 3 separate tables? Excuse me? Let's see. Countries ordered by annual sunshine. Because obviously a lot of the Nordic countries get even less, right? So it surprises me that UK is one of the worst. In Europe, I can imagine. Faroe Islands, Iceland. Whoa, UK actually is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th lowest. Never mind. Okay, so that we live up to a reputation for. That can't be true. I guess that maybe it takes an average. List of cities by sunshine duration. Equatorial Guinea as the lowest. How? What? This can't be right. There's no way. Lagos in Nigeria has one of the lowest. What? Oh, this is sorted by continent, I see. Okay, this makes a lot more sense. I was like, what? Because, okay, Europe must have been... It must be all be like the Nordic countries. Whoa! Manchester from UK is literally 4th lowest. Never mind. Edinburgh's 5th lowest. Because Faroe Islands make sense. Norway, I don't know where Bergen and Tromsø is. I assume they're quite north, which probably... Okay, Tromsø is incredibly north. Bergen's actually quite south. Wild. Okay, never mind. Who knew? But despite the fact that we're not northern enough, I suppose, to be affected by the fact that we should have unequal, like, that, what was it, about like a month period where there is no sunlight, I suppose, which I guess really only happens in very northern tips of European countries. But genuinely crazy. London is down here. London is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th lowest on the list. I actually had no idea. Okay, so this makes a lot more sense, you know? I'm learning a lot about UK weather. You might be like, how we've got, can't you just tell? You just look outside and it's grey. And I'm just like, well, yeah, but I haven't lived in other countries for an extended period of time, you know? I haven't lived in, like, Iceland. You know, I've been on a holiday for Iceland for, like, a couple of weeks, and I'm like, okay, you know, maybe that's normal. I'm not saying normal compared to, you know, like, people in Spain or something. But I'm like, comparing to other people in our echelon, other cities in our echelon. But yeah, so it turns out, okay, it's a bit of both. Do we have as much rain as a lot of other places? No. Do we have a lot of grey days? Absolutely. Yeah. That's about it, I suppose. I don't know. That's kind of like a gloomy day or something. How gloomy a day was today? Actually, today was quite a gloomy day, mind you. I think it was overcast grey, or basically not the entire day. There was actually a bit of sunshine. So it wasn't the gloomiest day in the world. But I mean, it's also like January. You know, you kind of expect it, right? What about tomorrow? What's tomorrow like? Tomorrow's raining. Okay. I will say, I'm looking at my weather forecast for the next 10 days. It's all grey and rainy. Except for next Monday, where there's 20% chance of just mostly cloud. You know what? Maybe we're on something here. At least air quality. Fantastic. Look at that too. Low air pollution. Low UV index. That's pretty good. Pressure. I don't really know how to interpret weather pressure, to be honest. What does higher and lower pressure feel like? Abnormal atmospheric pressure may cause headaches, joint pain, fatigue, and other effects. Really? Okay, fair enough. Pollen. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. So I guess UK weather is something to complain about. Everyone, get your complaining hats back on. No, on the whole though, you know, despite the fact that UK has a lot of gloomy days and weather, I actually think UK weather is not all too bad. As said, like, because we don't have too much in the extremes. The actual worst thing is not the gloomy days, in my opinion. The worst thing, in my opinion, is the summers. And not because the summers, you know, there's about probably 200 other, that's not even possible. There's probably like 100 other countries with warmer summers, worse summers, drier summers, and things like that. But the thing is, and I say every time, is that UK is so unprepared to deal with summers. Because we don't expect summers to be that hot, even though historically for the past like 10 years they have been extremely hot. We don't expect it, so we have no air conditioning. All our houses are built to keep heat in, so we basically just sort of boil a little bit when it comes to actually these summer days. But winters, we're actually pretty set for all things considered. It is a bit gloomy, yes. I'm not at all going to sort of try and like go against that, debate that, or anything like that. But on the whole, could be worse. In my opinion, could be a lot worse. So yeah, I don't really know where I was going with this. I guess it's sort of like you know, be careful what you wish for, because just like that, baby, just like that. So I'm also making sure I use up my stamina and Uma Musume. I'm not going to do a run. I'm just going to get a run ready, and then I'll do it later. When I get that glorious time of a good run with Manhattan Cafe, because I've had some crazy stats, by the way. So I just take a Uma Musume sort of sidetrack here. I got a fantastic run, which is this one currently. 1200 speed, 900 stamina, 1000 power, 500 guts, 400 wit. That's pretty darn good, all things considered. And it has so many skills, but just not long S. If it just had long S, it would have been c'est parfait. But it didn't. Had Umastan as well. Or it didn't have straight waist, but that's actually kind of a big one. So not quite parfait. But yeah, it's very annoying, I think, trying to do this. I can't wait till Automade comes out and Umamusume, so I won't have to have such a nightmare building these Umamusume parents anymore. Anyway, sorry, sidetrack there. Yeah, gloomy weather. I think gloomy weather's never really got me down as much. That's why, you know, I very much prefer winter days to summer days. I don't mind when it gets dark pretty early. In fact, I think it's because I have a lot of nostalgia for some reason tied to, like, when it gets dark early and, like, walking back home or something in the dark. I don't know why necessarily. Like, I had this thought when I went to university about, like, because I didn't have evening lectures or anything like that, and like I always had basically morning lectures. Sometimes I'd have like evening, like one-on-ones, like mentory supervision-y style things, but apart from that, not really NBD. But like I used to take Japanese classes, and that would always be in the evenings, and walking back from evenings, or you know, after like a night out or something, always felt super nostalgic to me for reasons I cannot explain. I don't know why. And I guess during the summer months I'm not there, so maybe I just associate it with those walks back. So maybe now the association has sort of like compounded upon each other. And now it's just like, oh, you know, late night walks back home, provided, you know, it's not particularly dangerous or spooky, I would say, is somehow still quite nostalgic for me. So yeah, maybe that's why. When it gets dark, I'm just like, ah, yes, this is it. It's also another thing, which I definitely need to talk about another time, but like when I was growing up, like one of the houses I lived in for a very long time, like a house our family lived in, had a train basically going through, not through the backyard, essentially through the backyard, because we live near a train station. And nowadays I'm just like, I feel like I can't get to sleep unless there's, well, I can get to sleep literally anywhere, but like it feels more soothing to me to get to sleep when I know there's like transport about or something. Like I don't need dead quiet, you know. I find it very soothing hearing like a train or like traffic off in the distance or something. So I'd probably be amazing at living next to it, like an, I don't know, like an airport or something. Don't quote me about it. I'm not going to put that to the test. But the faint rumblings of a train, I don't know, is somehow very soothing to me. And it's also another thing, I nearly always fall asleep in cars and trains. And I joke to my friends, it's basically my brain's just like, well, nothing else to do here. If I'm not the one driving, obviously, I can't drive, so that never has been the case. Might as well sleep. Which is not great, I suppose, on like a road trip about sort of thing. So I do try and stay awake to sort of entertain my friends, but sometimes I fall asleep. It just is how it is, you know. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to round this episode up here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time. Bye-bye for now.